Today, let's do a little experiment on the effects of COPPA. Hey, I'm Jonathan with App Axis, where I help healthcare professionals reach their audience through mobile-first strategies. So COPPA is a law that was put in place a long time ago to help protect children from predators that were online. It was originally meant to protect children from predators in the sense that you and I would think of the word predator. However, it evolved because marketers were taking advantage of platforms like YouTube to reach and market to children inappropriately. And YouTube had to pay this big fine back in November of 2019. There are so many videos on YouTube that you can check out. I suggest you check out any of them, really. Several of them are really good in explaining the purpose and the problems and the concerns and the effects of COPPA. And in November of 2019, it was a lot of speculation as to what would happen. We're still waiting on some examples of channels that are going to be fined and flagged in violation of COPPA. So that has yet to happen, and it's late January 2020. But I did want to talk to you about the potential effects and some of my experience that I've had with COPPA recently. So let's check it out. Real quick, let's do a COPPA overview. So it's if you go to YouTube and you check out their information about it, it just speaks about some of the reasons that COPPA was put in place. We discussed that briefly. And it also mentions some of the effects, some of the things that would happen, like your video, no autoplay on home. The comments would be disabled. It's a huge one. And I'll come back to that. Channel branding, and you can read these things on their website. Notification bell is a huge one. You know, super chats and these things, stickers. So there's a lot of things you can't save to watch later. So there's a lot of things that would happen if you mark your channel as being geared towards children. The reason you would do that, or the thinking behind people selecting the box where it says, well, this is appropriate for children's content, was because they were making video game reviews and children play video games, because the rules for what YouTube considers child material or child-friendly material is super broad and super vague. Bright colors, music, anything really. You can check out those details. But I want to bring it back to the point I'm making real quick is, how does this affect your channel? And I'll give you an example of how it affected me. Now, not my channel, but in terms of my viewer experience here on YouTube. So let me explain. So I, like many of you, or many of you should be doing, is I have a hobby, and my latest hobby that I've been working on is DAW-less music. So basically, I spend so much time editing videos and doing things on my cell phone and reviewing apps that I don't want to look at another screen when it comes to my hobby. So I've been putting a lot of time to music production where there are no screens involved, tactile experiences. I don't want to make music on the computer in a DAW, in a digital audio workstation. So I've done a lot of research into just doing some dabbling in the DAW-less environment. So here's my point. I'm doing some research. I'm looking on YouTube. It's my platform of choice. And I'm going through all these videos, and I'm trying to find a case, because I want to have 2 synthesizers, a recorder, and a drum machine. And I'm like, gosh, I need a case, because I don't want to have to break down and put back up. It takes too long, and it takes away from the purpose of enjoying a hobby when there's too much setup time and stuff. So I wanted something neat. So I've researched on YouTube, DAW-less cases, DAW-less DJ cases. There's a whole bunch of things that I've searched for, and I've watched a lot of these videos trying to come up with a solution, something lightweight and everything. There were a lot of requirements. Watched all the videos I could, and there weren't many videos on it, if any. You just kind of had to stumble upon it, really. But, you look at cases and videos, and I found that YouTube wasn't the best platform, which is unusual. YouTube is usually the place where you find results. So anyway, let me push on. So I then go to search on YouTube itself. Aha, now we're talking. When you go to the images, now you get examples of people having their stuff there that gives me some idea. I checked out Pinterest. Same thing. You get some ideas. And anyway, I go over here and I click on one place and I check this out, and I go down the whole rabbit hole, and then I click on another place, and you eventually arrive at a photo. I found this photo that was perfect. And let me show you what that photo is. It was this photo. This case by this gentleman and his channel. He has 317 subscribers as of today, January 20th or 21st. This case is exactly what I'm talking about. I have this mixer and, you know, this is the setup I'm looking for. So I'm trying to find research and I'm wondering, why is it that when I search on YouTube, his channel doesn't appear? Here's why. It's because he clicked that little box that says, I comply with COPPA. This material is child friendly. And now look, no comments. I can't save to watch later. So when I found his channel, I couldn't even close the window because I knew I would never find it again because I found it through a Reddit thread or some, you know, Quora thread or something like that that was in Google Images. So it wasn't in search. It wasn't on YouTube. It was buried in the algorithm and I found it. And I can't even reach this guy. His comments are turned off. And then here's what's interesting is that YouTube recommends that I try YouTube Kids. Let's see if that works. So I go to YouTube Kids. I type in this guy's name. Nothing, not one video. So although he complied and he said, you know what? I'm not taking any chances. I don't want to be sued. Let me go ahead and say this is kid friendly. It's music. It's dollars. It's harmless. I want it to be for everybody. He's suffering. His channel is going to suffer because he's not being discovered. And I think it's a combination of effects. I think it has to do with several things. So I think it has to do with the comments being turned off. I think it has to do with the notification bell being turned off, saving to watch later. I think it's a combination of all these things combining in the algorithm that's basically forcing his channel so far down, even when you search for exactly his channel on YouTube Kids. Now that YouTube knows that I want his material, I think it's changed because when I type in his name, it pops up for me now. But, or when I type in Dallas Rig, his channel pops up, but it's like number 20 on the page or whatever. But that's because I have that history in my search results. At least YouTube doesn't delete the search history. So once you stumble upon a page, you'll find it. But I will never know when he posts a video. His channel will never grow. And yet this is exactly what I want. And I cannot find much about him. I'm going to have to do some roundabout way of contacting him and asking him questions about how he has his setup. It'll be interesting to see if he can get past or even higher than 317 subscribers. But I say all this to say, if you are a professional and you have a healthcare YouTube channel, any kind of professional channel where you want to reach the majority of your audience is adults, I would not say that this is appropriate for children because YouTube is going to force you out of the main YouTube algorithm and try to tell people that you're on YouTube Kids and you're not even on there. And even if you were on YouTube Kids, that's not your audience. You'll have to go to Google search and stumble upon Reddit articles and go through the threads. And there you are. And that's not how discoverability works online in 2020. You can't go about business that way. My advice is until YouTube sorts out how they're going to rectify people complying with saying, yeah, my channel is both for adults and kids, and yet still exposing their channel as a legitimate channel, because all he does, I don't even think he speaks on his channel. All he's doing is playing music. I get it. I get why he doesn't want to take a chance, because somebody might say, hey, kids play music too. We're suing you. Or you know, if you're a pediatrician, you take care of children and their healthcare needs. Suppose somebody says that some algorithm or some computer or somebody in Silicon Valley or some really aggressive attorney says, that's actually kids material. You're talking about children's health issues. And therefore I can argue in a court of law that blah, 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 blah. You see what I'm saying? So what I would recommend is keep your channel clean. You know, do not say that it's meant for children. Just go ahead and stay in the adult realm, because that's where the discoverability is. It lies on YouTube. That's the whole advantage of it. But hopefully they sort that out, because I would never, I can't even find his channel unless I went to my search history. So anyway, this was a quick experiment. I just wanted to show this as a problem, because it's a concern, and you should be concerned too. The only other alternative is, you know, make sure that you're well diversified in your social media. Make sure that you're on other platforms because you never know, right? You never know. So anyway, I hope this helps. Hopefully this will be resolved or addressed by YouTube and by Google sometime in the future, in the near future, hopefully. Let me know your thoughts. Talk to me. What do you think? COPPA was everywhere in November and December. Everybody was talking about what it's going to do. It's going to be the end of the world. And reading through the details, I agreed with it. I haven't seen anything yet. Have you guys seen anything on YouTube? Any channel content creators getting in trouble, or anybody whose stats have just plummeted? Again, not talking about the people who actually were in violation of marketing to kids inappropriately or what have you, but traditional mixed content or even professional content channels where they took a steep dive for whatever reason. Let me know what results you get. Anyway, it was good talking to you. Got a lot more content coming out, and please do check out my channel and subscribe, and I'll be in touch, and take care of yourself. Bye.